Okay, we are live. We are live. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but we're gonna try to hopefully that new notification went out, so folks will start strolling in. We'll see the comments coming in pretty shortly. They were like, "Oh, hello,
Yeah,
there go Melissa."
Hey, Melissa. Yeah, everyone's starting to come in now. I just got my notification. YouTube just loves to take forever with these notifications.
I know, that's interesting. I guess, I don't know, there's a processing time from the platform to get to YouTube, but you would think, I don't know, that it should all go at the same time we go live, but oh well. Everybody's coming in. Hey Wendy, hey Delmonica, Jacqueline, Janet. Hello, hello,
All the
hello.
usual suspects.
Mm-hmm. Let me see, because I know last time it was kind of loud. So hopefully we won't get that. I just got the notification today fast. Okay, Janet, cool. Cool beans. All right. So we I know we started a few minutes late because I had to take care of something else, and I had to get answers on some things, and of course it always takes a long time, and then it pushes everything back. But we are here, Soapies. Yes, hey Soapies. I see Cynthia. Y'all like me calling you guys Soapies? I noticed on YouTube a lot of the content creators have different names for their watchers. Haven't you noticed that, Bree?
Yes. I like the soapies.
The Soapies, yeah. Uh-oh, you're breaking up, girl.
Suiting. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's very suitable for this group. I think it's really cute. I love it.
Yeah, I've heard all types of, like, I know I watch a lot of couples channels, and they'll be calling the K&R Squad, or the what they call it, the Prince family, blah blah blah. So each Cheryl said, I don't mind being called Soapies. Yep, I thought it was cute. It goes with the channel, and that's what you guys are. You a soap fan, so I have to call you my Soapies.
Exactly. Plus, we got to make sure we're in unison.
Yep.
So whenever notifications go out, all the Soapies got the notifications.
Yep. And that tells me who's listening to my recaps, because I usually use that term on my recap. So now you're telling on yourself, but that's a good telling on yourself, because I know y'all watching my videos. Delmonica says sudsies. I don't know about sudsies. All right, let's get this show on. Oh, go ahead. What'd you say, Bree?
I said we got people are starting to come in. Almost 30 people now.
Oh, nice. Great. Nice. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. So we're going to quickly start off with a few things. We kind of touched on stuff from Monday's episode when I did an impromptu live Monday night. Thank you guys for showing up. I didn't know what to expect. Number one, it was a late live. It's later than what I would normally go on. But after I had dropped my son off at the airport, and I'm like, I feel like talking soaps because I got a lot to say. I hadn't talked to y'all since last Thursday. I didn't have any recaps, no spoilers, no nothing this weekend because I was on straight vacay mode. I was rushing in here afterward to get a chance to talk to you guys, and I'm glad that you guys showed up on Monday. So I appreciate you, and thank you, Bree, for coming in unexpected as well.
Of course, absolutely. It was a lot of fun, and I needed a break.
Yeah, I know, with the soaps, you tend to, it gives you that little bit of a break to have some fun and get your mind off of other stuff.
Absolutely. I highly agree.
All right. That's a good question, Melissa. Because I said that in the group chat. She said, "Hey T, since Matt Atkinson is having a baby now, do you think that's why he's not on Bowl?" I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I did post it. I see some of you guys responded on the community tab. I did post a picture, two pictures of him and Brittany expecting. I don't know when she's due. I didn't see that, but she's showing pretty well, so I'm assuming she's probably might be due the end of the year or something.
Let's see, October. So what, about 4 months long? So I guess while he was originally gone, and left for Paris, well, the character left for Paris originally. Maybe that's when they were working on that baby, and now she's pregnant.
Well, that would have been at the end of March, so maybe she found out because they got married in November. They haven't had their 1 year anniversary yet. So they got married in November. They were ready. You talking about somebody ready? They were like, we're getting married. We want a child within this first year. And yeah. They were
Beautiful
ready.
thing.
I know. I'm happy for him. I mean, I'm assuming I think he's 34. Yeah, I don't know how old Brittany is. I'm assuming somewhere around that same age, maybe a little younger. But I'm happy for them. They had the big wedding. I don't think they dated for about a year and a half. And then he got engaged. Then they got married. And now they got a baby coming. Yay!
That's so awesome. I'm so happy for them both. I love when happy people are happy. But that's a wonderful thing. I have a couple of mixed feelings as a soap fan. I could understand him wanting to be away and kind of enjoy the pregnancy with, his wife and everything. But I feel during that time I would like for them to recast Thomas, but that's a whole other discussion. But I'm very happy for all of them. Good for them, and the baby included. The baby's going to be gorgeous.
Janet Brown says she's due in November. So, and I have a November child myself. So I know it was somewhere around March when I conceived. So, early March. Because she came at the end of November. So it was somewhere around the end of February, early March. And Matt Atkinson wait a minute, because they film a month in advance. His last episode aired before he left Hope was March 28th, which means that he filmed at the end of February. So you might be right, Bree. That's probably right around the time that they were planning to have a child. And yeah, then that would put her somewhere around maybe 5 months.
Wow. So he wasted no time. He dedicated a lot of his time to make sure he got a baby.
Well, if he put that same energy in his real life marriage in the bedroom that he did on Bold and the Beautiful with with Hope, I can see why.
and that's scripted. I mean, I can only imagine what it was like in her real life. Congratulations, girl, and he got a baby.
Listen, he put a baby in. They put a ring on it, and he put a baby in her. And like I said, with all the biting and scratching and stuff that he enjoyed doing when him and Annika was doing those scenes, I can imagine. I can't imagine, or maybe I can. I can imagine what that would look like in his own personal relationship with the woman that he loves and marry.
Yeah, good for them. I'm so happy for their family.
Yeah, so congrats to Brittany and J-Matt. So, moving on. At least this time is, I know Jacqueline had 4. Now we're waiting on Annika. I know Annika's in a new relationship and she's happy. So hopefully, we never know. We might see something down the line with her, I hope. With her and her boyfriend or whatever, boyfriend, husband's hope, whatever she decide or they decide. So, and then Scott's in a new relationship too.
I wonder if he wants more kids. I don't know. But I'm
He's
glad
not that
everyone.
old, Bree. I think he's what, like 37, 38?
Yeah. No,
Mm-hmm.
actually, he'll be 40 Halloween.
Yeah, he's a Scorpio. Oh, yeah, Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, all of them. He's married, and then of course we got her in a new relationship. We got Scott in a new relationship. So that's cool. We'll see what happens over the next few couple years or so with everybody. All right, moving on. Good stuff, interesting stuff on The Young and the Restless. So we might as well. Oh, let me just do a formal introduction just in case newbies come in here or listen to the replay. I am T. I have Bree on the line with us as well. This is Soap Corner Talk, where we're doing our midweek chat for The Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. So we already, like I said, we did have an impromptu on Monday. So we're pretty much trying to talk about what happened in the last couple days. And on The Young and the Restless, it's getting real ugly tomorrow. Did you see
There's been
Young
a
and the
good
Restless,
swoop.
girl?
Not for tomorrow, but the Young and the Restless sweeps, they knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
They really had. Every week was something to talk about. Can't say the same for Bowl, but Y&R, they definitely had it for July.
Yeah, they did. And it was consistent. See, I think Bold would have knocked it out the park, but they did it in the beginning of sweeps, and then it kind of fizzled.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's what happened there. All right, Y&R. So, we had a couple things happen on Tuesday and today's episode. One of them, and I didn't get that picture, but I should have switched out the picture at the top of Sharon and Nicholas. When she opened that door, she had an actual hallucination of her kissing Nicholas. Would y'all like to see a chic reunion? Yes or no? What you
Nope.
think? Bree said fast no. She like, nope. Let's see what they say in the chat. Girl, you are so funny. My soapies, would you like to see a chic reunion? Yes or no? Hey, Jan. Hi. Let's see.
Hey, Gail.
Janet says no. Let's see who else responds. Jan says no. So far, they on your, they on your side there, Bree. Okay, we got a couple of no's. I guess everybody else will chime in. Cynthia says yes. Delmonica is a no. Okay, I'm in the middle. I I don't know. I guess it's rinse, wash, and repeat because they've been back and forth for so many years. If they are going to keep Nick and put Nick and Sharon together, keep them there, please.
Oh, no.
I mean, they got to do something with them. I mean, they got to give them both a storyline together if they're going to stay together. If not, then just move along. What are you about to say, Bree?
I'm on Monique's side. Hell to the nah with these two. No, I think Nick and Phyllis have very hot, spicy chemistry. I always felt Sharon was always better with Adam, personally. And I loved Nick with Phyllis because they just bring that fiery side to each other. I don't know. Do you guys want to see Nick and Sharon over Nick and Phyllis? Because they're definitely testing the waters with both.
Yeah, they kept testing him with both of them. I see more no's than yeses.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Cynthia say, I don't want him with Phyllis.
Okay. Who should they put him with?
I don't know. They're running out of folks. Unless there's a new woman. No, that's a new man that's coming on the scene. But, I don't know. He has yet to be with Audra.
Now, would he sleep with his son's ex-girlfriend is the question.
I mean, anything is possible. So, I mean, he slept with his brother's girlfriend, so.
That's his brother. He don't care about his brother like that.
Nick and Sharon.
He raising his brother's child.
Mm-hmm. No to Nick and Phyllis. Okay. And Medora says, same old, same old. Okay. Neither. Medora said neither one of them. I mean, they got to do something with Sharon Case. She is a legacy character.
Right.
And I don't like the fact that if they're going to bring Cassie into this, from rehash that whole storyline, why put her in this state of mind? They could have. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I feel something's about to happen because they're making a huge point. Her medication's making her off. That makes me wonder if she's going to do something to Lucy by accident.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, with Lucy pressuring, that could be possible. You know what, Bree? That could be possible with Daniel and the situation that happened with Cassie. If Lucy is, because from what I understand, for the week of I'm going to say August, July 29th, Lucy is supposed to double down hard next week on trying to be Faith's friend. And of course, that's definitely not going to make Faith comfortable. So I don't know if it's going to get out of hand, and maybe if they're going to put Sharon in the middle of this, is it possible? Now, this is speculation right now until all of the full spoilers come out. But could Sharon look at her as being a threat to Faith? If with her, with what she's going on, with the psychosis that she's having right now.
It's just not looking really good for Lucy's character. And the thing is, all the key players from Cassie's passing are being brought into the storyline. Even Phyllis is included with this now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're making it a point to really wrap Daniel into this and his daughter. And everything is like literally copy and paste from what happened with Cassie, because Cassie was really trying to be Daniel's friend. So she had a crush on Daniel, and she wanted to like drink and be older and be around that older crowd, same way Lucy is. Mm-hmm. So Sharon could be like, okay, this is a repeated past. Maybe she could be like trying to save Lucy, and then as a result, it unalives her, something to that effect. But I don't think Lucy's going to be around for much longer.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I kind of wish they would have pushed her over the bold, to maybe create a storyline connected to Sheila or something like that. But I guess that can't happen for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't like the storyline for Sharon, but I guess we'll see how it all ties in together. Then what? Are you going to take Sharon Case off again? Just say she does something and she goes to the hospital or something. Right now we got Ashley away, we got Connor away, we got Nikki going to outpatient rehab. It's that, I mean, I get it, the lives of the rich and famous can be kind of, but good grief. I kind of wish go ahead.
You kind of wish what?
No, I just kind of wish they had something different for her. I mean, the last several storylines, she went through breast cancer. She lost Ray Rosales. Then now we got she had the Cameron Kirsten thing where he was attacking her. It's like it's always tragedy around her.
Right. I agree. I would like to see her happy, but happy is usually boring on soaps.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually love to see what was going on with First Cassidy. It just seems like I guess she's just operating it from her home, and seeing her as this, high-powered businesswoman, because with Chan, she was a very confident woman. She's like, look, you're just a little plaything. I'm not looking for anything serious. I want to focus on my company. I'm like, okay, who was this Sharon? I want to get to know this Sharon. She's been through a lot. and she's really kind of holding her own. And
Mm-hmm.
then they really twisted things when it came to her medication.
Mm-hmm.
And then they gave us this weird 30th reunion for Nick, bringing up the Cassie storyline. So they're really honing in on Sharon being impaired, and also really looping in with Lucy as part of the storyline and her curiosity, but mostly mimicking Cassie
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So it would be a twist for Daniel to end up losing his own child, the same way Sharon lost her own child as a result.
Oof, wow. Yeah, I just hate that, we got to go down this route. Like you say, they could have had her as this business mogul. Cassidy, the business Cassidy. Um,
Hmm.
what type of business is that? Tech? I think it was a tech company, right?
It,
That Kirsten left her.
it's a tech company, and this is why the writers, you get on my nerves with this. They should have, same way they had Brooke and Taylor become friends, they could have had Sharon and Phyllis become somewhat friends, because Phyllis has the background for tech
Mm-hmm.
that if she could have helped Sharon in a lot of ways, because Sharon don't know anything about them tech
Mm-mm. Girl, she got
at
three
all.
jobs. She owned a coffee house. She's this phone by night therapist, and then now she runs a tech company. It's like y'all don't know what to get this girl.
Exactly. And it's like, pick a lane, but like, Phyllis was looking for a job. She understands tech. Sharon has a tech company. I never liked the fact that they didn't revisit her hiring Phyllis, because that would have been very interesting to see that dynamic.
Hmm.
Um, but they missed their opportunity with that. So they refurbished an old storyline.
I would have rather for them maybe to give the company to Phyllis. I mean, she came. That's the other thing. Phyllis came off of that whole thing with Jeremy Stark, which
Hmm.
put her back a while because she had to go through the whole criminal case. She was off playing dead somewhere, and then her kids didn't like her, so they had to drag her, pretty much pulling her out of that whole storyline to kind of stabilize the character. Well, instead of going that route, and I know that was part of the anniversary thing for the Young and the Restless, the 50th or whatever it was last year, but
Hmm.
I just think that maybe, because I mean, the girl sold her hotel. What is Phyllis doing? She don't have a job.
At all.
She don't have a job, and Sharon is off her meds. And it's like you got two legacy characters that y'all can't give a decent, meaty storyline to.
Right. And you know what? She is putting all her time and energy in what's going on with Summer.
Mm-hmm.
And she's wrapped in this storyline with Sharon now.
Mm-hmm.
We have yet to see Lucy and her grandmother interact as much.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Not since that whole Daniel Romanotti thing.
Right.
That's it. Other than that, she thinks that Harrison is her only grandchild.
Yeah, that's crazy. You would think that she would spend more time with her granddaughter. She was busy making up with Faith than spending time with
Right.
Lucy.
Yes, exactly. That makes zero sense to me. We haven't seen her interact with her grandmother in how many months? But she's wrapped in this storyline with Cassie. I mean, this remake of Cassie storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, oh boy, it's gonna be interesting to actually see how they're gonna tie all this in together. I just think that they could have chosen the different storylines for both these ladies. Because right now, Phyllis is just trying to keep her daughter happy, which is not smart right now. And tomorrow's episode is evident of that.
Mm,
Um,
good.
yeah, I mean, you talking about unhinged, in my opinion. And I know people were trying to kind of ride for Summer. Oh, maybe the whole situation about Claire, and now that thing came and went. Now she's dealing with this thing with Audra, and yeah. Okay. I'll tell y'all about that in a minute as a spoiler alert. Let's get through the rest of this. We also had this. What did you think about the interaction between Billy and Lily? Now, I saw the words that we were in the group chat, and Jay was saying after what happened today, I think it was what Lily said to Devon about staying with Billy. There's no way Devon should be able to let her come over to Winters. What do you think about that?
She's flip-flopping a little bit too much for me. I thought the whole plan was for her to get one over on Billy and go back over to Winter so she can be with her family. And this woman went ahead and told Billy the whole plan.
Right.
The whole plan.
Yep.
And I'm like, I guess they're trying to put them back together romantically or rechem testing them or something, but there's no way. If I were Devon, I wouldn't give her a job. I wouldn't get her nothing. She's proven that for one, she doesn't trust him. She made that clear when they had that meeting with Mamie, that whole family meeting over at Chancellor Winter, saying, I don't trust you. And Devon looked at her crazy. This man gave her a job right out of prison after unaliving his wife and his child.
Yep.
But you don't trust him.
Your brother.
And he also went along with the merging of the companies, which he was against. But he trusted you, but you don't trust him.
I mean, does he? Her thing is she claiming that he wants to run solo and he wants to be the only man standing when running a company. And he was like, I only did that over here because Billy was in the mix and Jill was in the mix. He said, listen, if you was to come over there, it wouldn't be that problem. She didn't believe him either on that tip.
That's her stupidity. That's her issue. That's why she's always an employee. She has no skin in the game when it comes to either company. So I don't know what she's going to do when she finds out about Nikki taking over the whole thing.
Yep. Yep. So
you know what? She's more suitable for Glissade. I would hope it would be a funny storyline if they just put her with Audra. Like, let's say Kyle, for whatever reason, screws up his opportunity. They make Lily co-CEO with Audra. I just want to see that interaction. But I do not see her going back over to Winters. I don't think Devon is going to let her in.
Nope.
She'll probably be Nate's assistant.
I did think the scene with them playing golf in the office was cute. It was relaxed. They were having a good time. It took them back to their old Chancellor days. But for them to be visibly happy right now in this moment, they don't know what's about to hit them.
Yeah. And Mamie kept saying, stick with your family. And I understand if she didn't want to work with her brother, that's fine. That she's had every right to have that decision. However, that had consequences because once again, she's just an employee. And will just be an employee at either company. So it was probably her better chance to be working with her brother than the unknown over at Chancellor.
Yep. But yeah, he thinks that everything is going to be gravy. He going to slap the Abbott name right on the building next to Chancellor. And it's like, yeah, don't get too comfortable. Not yet. Because they're pretty much like sitting ducks in the blood in the water because Victor smells it and he's coming for you. Speaking of Victor, go ahead.
Oh, no, I agree. I highly agree.
Speaking of Victor, he made an announcement to his family. And they originally, I guess, she thought that she was just going to get back over at Newman Media. And he was like, "No, I'm gonna give you Chancellor. I'm about to try to acquire Chancellor." And the Newmans were in shock mode. Now I gotta give it to the brilliant business mind of Adam. He was all for it.
Yeah, because he had to deal with Nikki no more.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this is why I wish they would, with all this mess that was going on with Sally the past year and a half, and now this whole situation with Chelsea. I like seeing the business Adam.
Me too. It reminded me why I love the character so much, because he's like his father, but he's also kind of like Jack too, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice for him to show his intelligence. This man's got a Harvard business degree, and that's why they're so upset every time he walks into the room, because they know he could be running everything, and Victor had it his way.
Yeah, honestly, I would, if I was Victor, I would have gave, you know what? I would have let Adam stay over there temporarily, give Nikki back Newman Media, and let Adam run Chancellor. But I understand the premise of it, because Catherine and Nikki were like BFFs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I can understand the connection by having Nikki run Catherine's company. But in the business frame mind of it, I would have gave it to Adam. Let him run it. And he was willing to do it. He said, shoot, if you don't want it, I'll run it.
See? He's more CEO business minded than Nikki was. Nikki just wanted to have possession of something over Adam. That's all that was. But even still, that look on her face, you would thought she'd be grateful, happy. Her man gave her a whole company to run, but she just still sourpuss, just mad, just angry. Like, you gave me a company to run. How dare you?
Well, here's the other thing, Bree, is she's trying to battle her with her sobriety. She can't even work right now, which is why Adam is being, supposedly was over there temporarily. Are you going to be strong enough to run a major company just as big as Newman almost by yourself?
That's a great question. That makes me wonder who's going to be left over at Chancellor, because it's obvious Victor's trying to get her away from Newman Enterprises altogether, because I don't think he wants her to snoop around and see what he's going to be really up to and what he's going to have Adam do in regards to trashing Jabot. So he's giving her something that's supposed to be sentimental and something he knows that she more than likely won't say no to, because it has to do with Catherine, and she will least likely care about Newman Media. But this would give her something completely different to focus on. I don't think Victor really cares if she's capable or not, or if it's going to help with her sobriety or not. It really matters who she's really going to have underneath her team. Will she keep Lily? Would she actually end up well, I don't think Billy's going to be there. But who would she have as far as her team there? That would also be like someone that's not related to her, that can also hold her accountable. And that, I think, and that in itself will be challenging.
Yeah. I honestly, you know, I get the connection, but I would have loved for Adam to run Chancellor. And Victoria was like, "Oh my God, you have to say that right now." And he was like, I'm more qualified than you, just mad that you're not getting it."
Yep. And it's facts. They can't say anything. Nothing. But I'm glad that Victor gave him Newman Media and made it permanent. I was so relieved by that.
Here's the other issue I have with Adam working at Newman Media, is that Victoria, once again, is his boss.
Yeah.
And if he was over at Chancellor, he technically would only have to answer to Victor, which, okay, he still do. But Victoria, well, what, are we going to go back to her plotting to have him removed like before?
Well, who would she have on her side? Because Victor made that decision. That's not Adam's fault. And Nick is, I guess, on good terms when it comes to him and Adam. So why would he try to plot against Adam if he hasn't done anything?
Well, Victoria's the ice queen, but if she don't like something, she gonna do. That's why I'm like, now he's right back where he was. Because when that whole thing started, before Sally took over, was Victoria coming after him because she was co-CEO over at Newman, and she was his boss, and she was always nitpicking at his work and what he was doing. And I'm like, well, we're back to square one. So I guess as long as she stay hands off and let Adam have autonomy with Newman Media, then I guess fine. But I guess we'll see.
But I think the key thing is Victor will always have the final say so. And he has no problem playing musical chairs. And plus, he's on a mission to bring down Jack. So if Victoria doesn't agree with something, Victor's going to veto it.
Well, remember how Adam got in trouble the first time with this whole thing that got him out of that situation is because Victoria lied. And Victor believed her. Remember that?
Yeah.
So she can finagle and say whatever she wants to play on her dad's thoughts like she did 2 years ago. And Adam be right back out on the street. Because she lied about that first time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it won't be like that. But I don't understand how, especially Nick and Victoria, for example, they each went after their daddy for $500 million. Why are they so gung-ho about working underneath their daddy so badly?
Girl, because they had to reinvent that whole storyline all over again. If they all separate, how they gonna run a show? They had to bring the Newman family back together.
I would not be worried about trying to get a job underneath my dad if I have $500 million in my bank account.
Okay,
courtesy of my dad.
I was gonna ask you a question. So, with the $500 million that they had, what type of storyline would you create for them? Would you have them that's it with the sets that they have available?
I mean, Sharon has a whole company that we never see. She works from her home. Actually, there's a couple of companies that we don't see. The Glissade doesn't have a set yet, but they're moving steam ahead with that. But you know what? It would have been beneficial for Victoria to get Glissade. Same way she had Brash and Sassy at one point. So she does. My only thing is, they cause a lot of their problems trying to appease their father so much and get his approval. And I'm like, you guys are adults. You guys have your own money. You can start like little companies. You don't have to work over at Newman. And instead of it being like a family dynamic, they could have had other characters work over at Newman. They could have Chance. They could have Lily work over at Newman to see other dynamics besides the same go around of Victor shuffling his kids in different seats.
Yeah. Well, I guess we will see what will happen with this whole thing with all of them, because Victor looked like he is pleased. All his kids working in different, including his wife, working in different aspects of the Newman umbrella. But are all these pieces going to fit in place? Because before we got two other things to talk about, which is the whole thing with Sally and Adam and Billy and Chelsea, which just break up already. I'm just, somebody spilled the beans, somebody get mad, everybody's gonna blame Adam anyway. So
exactly. So he just took it on a chin, and he's just trying to protect both relationships, but I think primarily is because I don't think he cares about Billy and Chelsea being together. But if it's good for Chelsea's mental state, then he'll just eat it and say like, okay, let's keep those two together. But he's just trying to cover his own behind and Chelsea's behind as well. But he's used to being blamed for everything else on the show. So
Yeah, the other thing is that he told that story to Billy and Sally, but you didn't fill Chelsea in on that story. So all they got to do, especially Billy, has to go to Chelsea, and I think I said this on Monday, and say, Adam told me everything, and I was ready to punch him in the face because he said that. He even said that to Lily. I was ready to punch him in the face. And of course, Chelsea is going to think that Adam spilled the beans. And then when she comes out and say, I'm sorry, it didn't mean to happen. We were drunk and, we didn't mean to betray you and Sally. And he's going to be like, wait, what?
yeah,
That's
I think that's
only
what's going to happen.
right. He has to, if you're going to put two people into a lie like that, everybody got to be on the same page.
I agree. I highly agree. And you know what? I feel it's definitely going to come out, especially since Sally and Chelsea are working at the same company, doing two different lines, but they would have to still kind of interact with one another. And it's not like Summer can like just kick Sally out because she slept because Chelsea slept with her uncle. But that would be a very interesting dynamic. I honestly wouldn't put it past the writers for them to slowly work their way to put Chelsea and Adam together, especially at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we will see. And then we had an engagement, Devon and Abby, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I understand y'all want to get married, but anybody that marries into the Newman family, prepare to be used by Victor Newman.
I think Devon wants to be used by Victor Newman. He forever wants to kiss his feet ever so badly. And this is my thing. I think I said this in the group chat. The only way Devon would really understand Victor's wrath is to be underneath Victor's wrath. And that's why I honestly feel, especially since they got together when they cheated on their other spouses, how you got a person is how you're going to lose them. Devon is going to screw up. And then he's going to really screw up with Victor because Victor does not play that whatsoever.
Well, you would think Devon would sit back and kind of think like, okay, I remember what happened with Chance. I remember what happened with Nate. Nate was with both of his daughters. Cole, which he don't know, but Cole is in a whole blackmailing situation. We haven't seen him in a while. But Cole, JT, Billy, anybody that, even Sally, at one point, they were trying, I think Victor was trying to pay Sally to leave town. Or did a doxing on her.
While she was pregnant.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Devon, do you want, even though, like you say, Bree, he might want to be up under his thumb, but he going to learn the hard way.
Yes, and rightfully so. Finally, he'll get to really see what it's like to be on Victor's bad side. So maybe he won't glorify this man as much as he does. This is what needs to kind of happen, in my opinion. That's why I feel like either Devon cheats or he screws up to some degree. Either which way, this relationship is doomed to fail. Two cheaters getting married, someone's going to cheat on one another, and that's usually how that works. But for him to really upset Victor, I think that would change Devon's mindset and think like, okay, maybe my real dad, maybe Tucker really wasn't all that bad.
Yeah, you were so mad at Tucker, who is he rude? He can be, I guess, low-key ruthless in business, but he's nothing compared to your soon-to-be father-in-law.
Yeah. Hey, rednecks.
Hey, rednecks. Hey. Yeah. So, but he gonna have to see that for himself.
And I said this in the group chat. I don't know if I said this on Monday. I can't remember. But it would be interesting for Devon and Audra to hook up. I thought somewhere down the line that they would, because as much as she got upset at Tucker trying to help Devon, Devon has a hatred for Audra, or he really disdains this woman.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting for Audra to hook up with Tucker's son after all of that happens. That would be like a double whammy, because she'll be out of a job, especially working for Victor, and Victor would really try to put his foot on Devon's neck for cheating on Abby and with Audra. That right there would be interesting. And then what if Tucker comes back and hears that information? That would be interesting to see.
Gail Lewis said, keep in mind, ladies, Devon and Abby share a child. Oh, we totally understand. The question is, Victor don't care. If he don't like one of his sons or daughter-in-laws, he don't care.
Look at how Billy's been treated.
Listen, Victoria was trying to stand up for Billy, because Victoria was like, you do realize that this could affect Johnny and Katie. And he was like, I don't give a darn about Billy. I'm like, and that's what we're referring to.
Yep. He does not care. You're either for Victor and his loyalty, or you're against him. He does not care. He didn't even want Billy and Victoria to ever get married. He had a Victoria arrested to prevent that from happening.
I know. Yep.
So Devon is no different. If anything, it might be worse for him.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. Anybody that comes close to Victor, he's going to figure out where that person fit on the chessboard. He uses everybody that he can as a pawn. And because Billy is rebellious and people like him that Victor don't like, that's why he treat them the way that he do. But as long as you can be used by Victor or utilized by Victor, you ain't going to have no problem with him.
Yep, I highly agree.
Yeah, I mean, Chance had to cover up his crimes, and that was eating Chance alive because of the fact that that's just not who Chance is. But sure enough, what did Abby do? You got to do this for my father. He can't go to jail.
And then she repays him by cheating on him. And Victor tried to blame Chance for not taking Abby back, not knowing that she was screwing a whole other man.
Exactly. Victor don't care. Then, go ahead.
I was going to say, and don't forget, let's not forget about Phyllis either. He set up a whole thing to where she was involved with Marco, who was a doppelganger to Jack, and causing all those issues for her. So he doesn't care about anybody else except for the family members who are loyal to him. Let me say that.
Yep.
In that moment.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. All righty. Oh, wait a minute. Rednecks, you don't watch Young and the Restless? That's right. I see him on a lot of my bold videos. So he said he's learning about Y&R.
I would say just dive right in. A lot of the stories are rinse and repeat, so you'll catch up really quick.
Right. All right. Before we move on to bold, tomorrow's episode, Summer. Oof. So she was able to get temporary custody.
Whoa.
And Kyle is hotter than fish grease. Even Claire is like, girl, your son is over the moon excited about going to Paris. And she pretty much told her, I don't need parenting advice from you.
For real.
Thanks, but no thanks.
I agree with that statement, but I'm like, wow, that is insane.
Girl,
she could have flew to Paris.
Girl, she could have took her bus. Part of her company is in Paris.
Yeah.
But no, her reasoning is that she thinks that Kyle is going to Paris to gallivant around the city of love with Audra. You had a sexual relationship with her, and now you're saying that you only there for business. Yeah, go talk to your grandfather. They're only
Yeah,
there
and
for business.
they need to. I want her to find that out because I
You
want to see what she's going to do with that information. Either she's going to be mad at Victor, or she might use that to her advantage with Victor. Either which way, she has no reason to be mad. Last year, she had a reason to be mad because he was actually screwing Audra. That's when you get mad. That's when you especially while she was going through the divorce. That's when you go for temporary cuts. Do that then, not a year later, and you have a whole other man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody done moved on. And plus, she could have took her butt. She could have flew to Paris. What is it with Hope and Summer not going to Paris?
Exactly. I mean,
Why are they so against it?
listen, Bree, and the cutest thing ever tomorrow out of everything in tomorrow's episode is Alan and Tracy. She is like, I gotta go to LA. They turning my book into a movie. I can't stay. Why don't you come to LA? And he, she's pleading and begging. He was like, how much time you gonna give me to pack?
Oh,
I was
I
like, you
love
go,
that.
Alan.
It's your girl. I love that. Oh, that makes that. Oh, that brings up the girl in me. I'm smiling ear to
Hey, listen.
ear.
Maybe while she's in LA, she can call Brooke Logan and say, hey, give me a couple pieces from the bedroom line. I'm going to need some.
Ooh,
Since you're advertising for women our age, give me a couple pieces from the bedroom line because I need to show up for my man tonight when I get to LA.
yes, because we haven't seen it. I would love for that for Tracy. Tracy got a man. I
Tracy's
love
got a
that.
man, and he is, girl, that scene was so adorable to me. Please, writers, let this be Alan and not Martin. It looks like it is Alan based on what we saw when that whole balcony scene, but this guy is perfect. The chemistry, everything, it is great between Alan and Tracy.
And that's why some things are just too good to be true. Unfortunately, I think this is Marco, but I'm enjoying it as far as I'm taking little bit by little bit, but I think this is going to end up being Marco.
Marco.
Unfortunately. I mean, what's that man's name? Marco
Martin.
was that? Martin.
Marco. I'm like, are you talking about Marco Anicelli? Oh my
No,
God.
no. Okay. Martin. Sorry,
Martin.
I think it's going to be Martin.
I mean, out
I
of
feel
all
this
of,
everything's too good to be true.
listen, the romance that there's been a little bit of romance here and there. It's just been so much anguish with you know the alcoholism and the OCD and all that. This was a nice little insert into a storyline where between Alan, they're both healthy, so it seems. If this is Alan, the relation, and he like, you want me to go to LA with you? Okay, come on, let's go. Give me a couple. Well, how long are you gonna give me to pack? I'm going, girl. It
And you
was.
know how long that flight is?
I know.
He. I love this for her. This makes me so happy. Go, Tracy. I'm so happy.
And like I said, call Brooke Logan and say, hey, I
Just a
need a
couple
couple
of pieces.
pieces.
Just a couple sample pieces, something Parisian theme if possible. I'm so here for Tracy and Alan. That's slash Martin. I'm here for those two. and Gail, I agree. Hope and Summer have something in common. They're both adopted moms, but I also think that they're turning into both of their mothers.
I said unhinged.
Yes, unhinged, they unstable. Like they both have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. I just had to throw that in there because Summer will irritate you tomorrow. I'm just saying. Some of y'all already saw it, so you know what I'm talking about, but that was so unnecessary. And then here's the thing. She's leaving it to Kyle to tell him why he can't go to Paris. You wanted the one that didn't want him to go. Why can't you tell him that you don't want him to go to Paris?
Dang, that's cold blooded.
Yeah, she was like,
But
"Oh
she's
yeah,
just like her mother.
I'm gonna leave it up to Kyle to, break the news to him that he can't go." Ma'am, you the one stopped him, not Kyle. You did, and you want all this time with your son, but you can't take this 5 minutes to tell your son that I don't want you to go.
Oh my goodness, that is so cold blooded. My goodness, but we'll
Yeah,
see
because she's a
tomorrow.
coward. The thing is that if you're gonna stand on business with this and send this through court and everything, you mean to tell me you don't have the heart to have that conversation with him? To say, listen, I know you wanted to go with your dad, but you can't go. And it's because of me. She knew that boy gonna look at her sideways. She don't want to deal with the reaction that he's gonna give her.
Yeah, but the fact that she got temporary custody, that's why I said you don't underestimate anything.
Girl, my thing is she went through all these judges to try to find somebody who was gonna say yes. And she's still living in a hotel. Where is he gonna stay? Did anybody raise that question? How you gonna give temporary custody and she in a hotel? He's still living at a big old house right now until Kyle moves into his own house. You ain't living in nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. You still at GCAC for 2 years and you
Right.
rich.
Exactly. Where you gonna take the boy? And when Jack and Diane realize what you did, I mean, it's mad. They're mad with him in business wise, but I don't think they're gonna be too happy about her having temporary custody of Harrison. They need to bring Tara back. Where's Tara? Where's Tara?
In jail, like she put herself in there.
Yeah,
she
but
she wouldn't be any better for Harrison.
man, all she did was steal from her own company. It wasn't like she committed murder or something like that. She took money out of her own company that Lauren and Phyllis decided to be a snitch about. It wasn't even nothing that major. You know what I'm saying? So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's still his biological mother or whatever, but she is just off the chain right now. All right, we got to go to bold. Where's my bold? There it is. Okay. Basically, we still got Hope fantasizing. She was sitting up there. Remember last year, Bree, when she was looking at Thomas's photo op in a magazine? That was like around late May of last year. Now she's looking at a photo op of Steffi and Finn getting the fifis all over, and yeah.
She's in heat. She ain't had a
Girl.
man in how many months?
Since March.
Since March.
Since
I
March.
mean, it's been a minute. I mean, like I said, any man would do. Especially if Thomas is not around, any man would do. That's the man she jumped out of her marriage for. And
Mm-hmm.
people keep forgetting that. And when Thomas came back, a couple of weeks ago, Finn wasn't even a thought. She
Mm-hmm.
was zeroed in on Thomas because that's the man that she wanted. And the picture that she was looking at earlier today was of Steffi and Finn. She's more focused on getting one over on Steffi. That's her only focus right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's just trying, and then especially with Sheila being out now, she was like, so how do you feel about that, Finn? Well, I never really believed she was guilty, but I just had to send her for question anyway. Yeah, trying to make your mama and your wife happy. Mm.
Yeah, he just. If I was Steffi, I'd be very upset. I gave him any. Like you didn't deserve it. Like how dare you? And this is the part that gets me. So the following day, I think it was Tuesday, he finally makes his way up to Steffi. She asked him flat out, like, what took you so long? And then they cut away and they were talking about her issues with Hope and the whole Sheila thing. That irked my nerves a lot. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't be honest and say that you found out about what happened with Sheila right then. You couldn't be honest and say, hey, you were hanging out with Hope in her lingerie. I mean, that's where you were. You're supposed to be this honest and loyal man, right?
He knows that Steffi would have hit the roof. Remember what he said when Steffi found out that Sheila had been released, and he had already known, and she was like, well, why didn't you tell me? I didn't know how to, or whatever he said. He was like, I didn't know how to tell you. Exactly, I didn't know how to tell you. Yeah, because of how she acts.
Same way he told Hope. Same way he has no problem sharing that with Hope. And my thing is, Steffi went ahead and told this man everything that Liam was saying behind closed doors or behind his back, and telling Steffi to leave him because of Sheila and that he wasn't trustworthy. She told her husband that. So you didn't want to give your wife the same common courtesy about her enemy trying to come on to you?
Yeah, I think what he's afraid of is the reaction. He knew Hope would be open to listening to how he feels, where Steffi was like, you better not feel what I think you feeling. You say so, I'm going to chop you off at the knees.
But that's the thing. He's talking off both sides of his neck. Mm-hmm. And if he didn't feel that his mom his egg donor had anything to do with what happened, he didn't need to tell Chief Baker to send her in or turn her in. And if he's been clear about how he's been feeling in regards to Sheila, and that's why Steffi keeps giving him an ultimatum, like, hey, if you want to explore that, explore that. If your loyalty is here with me, it needs to be here with me. He is flip-flopping way too much. And he has no problem sharing all of this information with his wife's enemy, though. He has no problem sharing his true feelings to his wife's enemy.
Well, like Melissa said, Hope don't judge Finn. Steffi does. And Redneck said Finn is comfortable around Hope and afraid of Steffi. That's the problem. He don't feel that he could be open with his wife without her lashing out. Whereas Hope, on the other hand, knows that, which is why she keep telling her mom, well, I don't know if she deserves him because he has the right to feel how he wants to feel about things, which I totally agree. But he also has to be strong enough to tell his wife how he feels. But he's afraid of Steffi. Steffi has a... Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Steffi has a very strong personality and very vindictive. And so when you got somebody who you can share your feelings with, which is why a lot of people like to go to life coaches and therapists, because they're not supposed to judge you. His wife, on the other hand, is telling him, you can't feel this way about Sheila. You can't think this way about Sheila. When you got somebody telling you how to feel and think versus somebody allowing you to feel the way that you feel, it's like two polar opposites. And that's what they are. Steffi and Hope are two polar opposites when it comes to Finn and how he feels. Now, I agree with you. He's talking out the side of his neck. He's being a people pleaser, which is not a good thing, because what's going to end up happening is that whoever you tell one side of the story to and then somebody else, those two people might come across each other and compare your stories and realize that it's conflicting. That's the problem.
My only thing is, I feel like she understands where her husband's coming from. Even when she was when Liam was coming down on him, she was defending her husband and saying, hey, he's going through a tough time. I'm trying to step into his shoes. I'm trying to understand where he's coming from. And she's also trying to put her foot down and say, like, look, I want nothing to do with this woman. You're either for trying to get to know this woman or not. I don't have to be anywhere near Sheila. I don't want my kids near Sheila. And that's the bottom line. And he keeps reaffirming, saying that he's for his wife and for his kids. That's him saying that. And it wasn't just that long ago, last week, he was acknowledging the fact that he shouldn't have made Steffi feel any kind of way or trying to force her decision to try to accept Sheila. I'm paraphrasing, guys, but he acknowledges where his wife was coming from. So it's not like she's trying to control the situation. She's given that man opportunity to leave on his own accord and do what he wants to do, and he still does it. He'll do one thing and then do the complete opposite thing the next. He has no problem with his actions and how he's moving, who he shares that information to. He didn't need to share that with Hope. He chose to share that with Hope.
Right. Anything you do is a choice. The thing is that he felt comfortable making that choice with one than the other. And the thing is that he has to be able to stand 10 toes down, because he's always, I'm all about you and it's about Steffi and the kids and whatnot. Well, you're not, because you're not being honest 100% with yourself and her. You need to tell her, look, I understand this happened to you or whatever, but I got to be able to process these feelings that I have for my birth mom. Now, granted, Steffi might tell you in theory, hey, I understand this is conflicting, but in the next breath, she's telling him what he should not think about. And Ridge is talking crazy about him too. And then you got Liam jumping in his face beforehand, up until they were so proud of him for putting on that front at Il Giardino. But any other time, if he had these feelings that he was processing for Sheila, they were all talking so crazy about this man, Ridge, Steffi, how could he, all of this so type of stuff, calling him stupid and things like that. And so he's like, listen, I'm married to this family. I got to deal with the wrath of them, or figure out how I'm going to go somewhere and let my feelings out. And Hope is right there, ready, willing, and waiting to hear him truly let out how he truly feels, which is going to eventually bite him in the butt, because it's going to come out. You can only hide that for so long, telling one person one thing and then telling somebody else something else, how you really truly feels. So I don't know how long this is going to last. And the other thing is, he still has no feelings for Hope. I don't know where this is going to go with these writers writing Hope fiending after this man. Where are we going with this? Because as of right now, Finn has not moved an inch on how he feels about his wife, even though he thinks that she's controlling his thoughts.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said ready, willing, and able from Hope. Same way he doesn't have feelings for her, she doesn't have feelings for him. She is taking this time, she's using this, the intimate moments that they share in regards to him venting to her about Sheila. She's weaponizing that because she knows she can go to Steffi and be like, look, your husband doesn't feel comfortable. Actually, we found out together about what happened with Sheila. That hasn't happened yet, guys, but has the opportunity to weaponize that and use it against Steffi to try to break up that marriage. That's why that's the last person, if anything, to feel comfortable with and share anything with. Why not RJ? Why not other characters on the show? Why does it have to necessarily be Hope? And that's the other thing that I'm curious about too. Now that he knows that she's attracted to him, that she's trying to push up on him and trying to drive a wedge between him and Steffi, will he continue to feel comfortable to share that information with? Because he should know and have some sense by now that she's going to weaponize that against him.
Well, the thing is, Hope is the only one on the show that actually is giving Sheila somewhat grace. Everybody else is a hard pass. And that includes RJ and Liam and anybody else, which of course he wouldn't talk to Liam. But everybody else can't stand Sheila. So far, because of the Deacon and Sheila coupling, you got Hope kind of giving some grace. I mean, she didn't get her grace in 2023 because she almost wanted to keep her kids away. But they flipped the script on us with the writing. So in order to accommodate Kimberly Brown's character, obviously they had to give somebody to give her grace enough to keep her around and also deal with Finn. So, we got to also talk about this conversation we saw with Stephy and Ridge. Now, Ridge is like, hey, it was my choice to get with Brooke. Ain't nobody put a gun to my head or anything else like that. This was my choice. What do you think about her feeling the way that she felt? Do she feel like she's being overlooked? Because one of the things that she brought up was the fact that you making all these decisions without me, and you just going on. I mean, who am I? Am I chopped liver at this point? You're not listening to me.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. And the other thing is that her mom is gone, her brother's gone. She technically has only her dad. And it seemed like her dad is being pulled Logan bound. So do you think that's why she was breaking out in tears? And plus her husband is on the fence with stuff.
I mean, I'll try to compartmentalize it. When it comes to the work stuff, she ain't never at work. She's too busy trying to be Olivia Benson. And then she'll show up at work whenever she chooses. So Ridge has to work around, go through Eric to try to get stuff done because his daughter's barely there. Secondly, I could understand she doesn't really have much family. She has no aunties, no uncles, no one really there to kind of be on her side. But at the same time, she has to kind of grow up a little bit too, because the Forrester men brought the Logan women in. They continue to deal with them, continue to sleep with them. Their children are intertwined together. That's done and done, even before she was born. And I'm glad that Ridge took accountability, which is very rare for him to do, and said, like, hey, put the blame on me. I got involved with both these women, and I left your mother hanging yet again. So that's on me. So she's quick to want to put it on the Logans, but it's really the Forrester men who brought these women into the company, into the family, having relationships, marriages, babies. That's on them. And that's why these women are feeling like they can run Forrester Creations and run that family, that household like that, because the men allow that to happen. Be mad at those men who go around you to get decisions done within that company too. Your 37% or however many percent that doesn't even factor anymore because they made that choice.
Yeah, I honestly believe they need to recast and balance out. Because, I mean, what Forresters? I mean, granted, a lot of folks say, oh, Maroney, okay. Forrester, legal Forresters, where are they? I mean, you only got three, technically. Because Thomas is gone. I mean, he's not married to Taylor, but at least she would have had somebody to balance the weight of the scales. She don't have any good girlfriends or anybody that she could talk to. Hope has all three of her aunts and her little brother. All three of her aunts. Two aunts. I said three. She got two aunts. I'm thinking about her mama. She got her mama and her two aunts.
She got all this family. All of Hope's family is there. And that's a Bradley Bell issue. If you're listening, fix that, please. It's unfortunate that she has little family to rely on. I mean, I don't know why she was so gung-ho about Thomas going overseas. She could have had her brother there, but, that's a whole other thing. But I do get it. She probably feels alone and lonely. Once again, that's a Bradley Bell issue.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's well into her 30s. She's married. She got kids. I could understand she wants the support of her dad. Her dad is going to be her dad at the end of the day. And I'm sure he's going to love his kids. I understand that. But when it comes to the company and who that man is involved with, she has no say-so. That's done. It's done. And as far as like the decisions that happen within the company, he proved time and time and again he's going to go to Eric way before he goes to her. He doesn't really trust her for that job, to be honest. I think he's proud of her. But for her to run the company and to make decisions, especially when she's feeling like it's Logan this, Logan that, and majority of the Logans brought in a lot of the success to Forrester Creations, he's probably like, you're going to get rid of all these women based off of emotion. So like, I need to try to balance it out. It's either which way, she can't run away from it thanks to the men in her life, including her husband, who's having a secret relationship with her enemy.
They need to create an outlet for her to have other folks to talk to or something. Bring in somebody. I mean, kind of like when we saw Young and the Restless, they put Sally and Audra together. Now, whether Audra's on the up and up, who knows? But at least for the moment, from what we've seen, there's a friendship. Sally and Chloe and Chelsea. You got girl friendships that happen. I mean, Lauren and Nikki, things like that. I don't even know if Victoria even have a girlfriend that she talks to.
I don't think she ever really had a friend. I think Sabrina was probably her last friend.
Right, Sabrina was her last friend, and her daddy got a hope to her. But
yeah,
she can't even, I wouldn't even have her hanging out with Poppy. I mean, the two newest women that's been on the show, Luna is just not in her age group. And, when it comes to Katie and Lee, Lee is her mother-in-law. So, I don't know.
That would actually be better for her. She would be like a mother figure to Steffi, especially since she really goes hard for Steffi and Finn's marriage. She can identify specifically what her feelings in regards to Sheila and how Finn has been acting, and she can kind of vent to her in a different way. I would actually love to see Lee and Steffi kind of bond a little bit more together. That makes perfect sense. And I see why Finn likes Steffi, because he sees how controlling his mother is.
Yep. Oh man. Okay. We got this other thing where we see Bill asking a favor. Now, when this spoiler came out, a lot of people were speculating that it was a situation where Bill might ask for a new paternity test. No. He laid it on thick with Lee today, saying that I'm grateful for you giving me a daughter. You are now a Spencer and part of the Spencer umbrella. You just like one of us. And then she goes into her whole soliloquy about the fact of him saving her life, finding her in that alley, and how much they owe each other. And then Katie shows up. Do you think that Lee is going to tell her that even though we don't know either way, but do you think Lee is going to tell Katie that test might be wrong?
I think as far as Lee is concerned, she probably thinks the test is correct. But I think if there's like paternity stuff that's in question, I think in the back of her mind, she's still going to think like, okay, Poppy might be up to something, especially since Katie really doesn't know Poppy like that and she's already suspecting something. I don't think she has really any loyalty in regards to Poppy at this point, even though Bill was landed on thick about the whole family thing, which I want to touch on that so badly real quick. But I honestly think she might end up looking into that paternity because something's got to give. I think Lee's going to say like, hey, I administered a test. It was a home test. I think Katie's going to try to question it. And I think maybe Lee might question herself and probably will insist on getting a blood DNA test just to ensure things.
I don't think she's going to touch that test. Number one, she don't want to upset Bill. Bill told her, whatever this stuff is you got with your sister, I need it over and done. Pretty much. You understand me? And that's why when Katie says, so, I remember you and your sister are not in good terms. Yeah, but we're putting that behind us. She immediately told Katie that we're not going to do that right now. Because as much as she called Poppy trying to be a gold digger, she obviously likes the protection and the familial connection that she's about to get from being a Spencer.
And you know what, y'all? I was so happy. We saw her smile today. She laughed. She cried. We saw other facial expressions. This was a miracle. But Bill was making miracles today. Because we never seen her cry, not her smile. She smiled for about 2 minutes, y'all. In total.
Oh my goodness. Yep. So I don't think she's gonna say anything. That big old smile and how much they owe each other, and yeah, she ain't saying
A
nothing.
couple of tears, everything. She was actually, I think she was crying about the whole Jack thing. I'm wondering what direction they're going to go in with this paternity thing, because obviously, Bill is not the father of this child. And I think the writers are trying to circle something back to doing a proper DNA test. So I'm glad that things are kind of coming into play into question. And what Poppy said to Luna, saying, I'm going to do what I can to make sure we protect you not losing, something like not losing out on becoming a Spencer or whatever the case is. She specifically said, I don't want you to lose your relationship with Bill. She didn't say your dad. She said, I don't want you to lose your relationship with Bill. And something tells me that that's why she's the main one who is committing all those crimes over El Giardino. I think it's either her, I think it's Jack, or it might be both, because she was gung-ho about trying to keep Luna within that Spencer realm.
Yeah. We also got the conversation with Katie and Poppy. And yeah, that whole thing. I see some people saying that Katie is out of line. She is absolutely out of line. Absolutely.
She out of line. I was laughing. The funny part of the interaction was Poppy was like, well, me and Bill are raising our daughter together. I'm like, she's grown. We saw her come in with a tattoo. She got 2 bodies. She has no problem drinking, partying, coming and going when she pleases. That girl's grown. There's nothing else to raise. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, all I know is that Katie needs to take several seats right alongside Summer, because my thing is with her is that you didn't give 2 thoughts about Bill until this woman came along. And then you trying to get her to talk about her background. She was like, I don't know you like that. I would have said the same thing whether I had anything in my background or not. I don't know you like that.
And that's understandable.
And so the thing is that, I mean, Katie is, you don't care about this man. You just mad that he brought another woman in there. You worried about her past. But, I mean, it's up to him. He the one invited her in. And like she said, he invited me into this house. I didn't ask him to come here. And he didn't. He also asked for that paternity test. So she said it's a thought. It's possible. They making it as if this is a whole thing, because if she was really a gold digger, she could have brought up this story 20 years ago. She didn't do that. She waited till this girl was grown, even though I do believe she should have said something to her daughter about who the father is. But coming after Bill, I don't know. That whole thing, in some cases, would have made her look like a gold digger. But, did we have anything else? As you know, it's 8:01. Well, 9:01.
No, I guess we'll touch on it on Friday.
Yeah, so, I think we covered everything. Yeah, I tried to get it all in before 8 o'clock, because you know we got to watch Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else right quick you want to say?
I not too much. I think we covered everything. Poppy's just a live-in girlfriend. She has no stake or claim, and Bill has no problem with Katie coming and going into his house. So Poppy's gonna have to kind of get over that. If she has an issue with that, she can address that with Bill. because Bill would gladly shut that down and say, "Hey, Katie, you can't just come and go when you please." But I did find it funny how Poppy was trying to give him some, and he's like, "No, I got a meeting." But Katie walks in the door, and he has the time of day to talk to her.
Yeah. So we shall see what happens tomorrow. I do know next week, the 29th, there's a spoiler that's saying Katie finds out about Tom. I don't know how she found out about Tom, but she found out about Tom somehow and the connection with Poppy. So we'll see what digging that she done. She becoming I Spy Private Eye. Girl, okay, she slept with him. What does that mean? She slept, you gonna go and figure out who all she slept with in the past? And what? Then what? But I guess the biggest thing is figuring out whether or not, Luna is the biological child of Bill, which we gotta exactly, Gail. Katie need to take several seats. All right, you guys, we're going to leave it here. We will see you guys on Friday for the full week chat. And make sure you stay tuned for the recaps for the rest of this week and any upcoming spoilers for the week of the 29th through August 2nd. All right, we will see you then. And for those that watch Sisters, stay tuned in about an hour for that recap. All right, you guys. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.